The reason NYC became America's biggest city. Imagine standing on the shores of Manhattan more than 400 years ago. There are no skyscrapers, no bridges, no flashing lights, no millions of people rushing through crowded streets. Instead, there are forests, rivers, and a vast natural harbor that seems almost perfectly designed by nature itself. At first glance, nothing suggests that this place would one day become the largest city in the United States and one of the most influential cities on Earth. Yet New York City would grow from a small settlement into a global powerhouse. It would become a center of trade, finance, culture, immigration, and innovation. It would attract dreamers, entrepreneurs, artists, and workers from every corner of the world. But how did it happen? Why New York? Why not Boston, Philadelphia, Baltimore, or another city? The answer is a fascinating story that stretches across centuries and involves geography, commerce, immigration, industry, and human ambition. The story begins long before the city existed. Before Europeans arrived, the region was home to Native American peoples, particularly the Lenape. They lived throughout the area and relied on the rivers, forests, and coastline for food and transportation. The Lenape understood something that future settlers would also discover. This location was special. The harbor was deep and protected. The rivers provided access inland. The surrounding lands were rich in resources. When European explorers arrived in the early 17th century, they immediately recognized the region's potential. One of the most significant explorers was Henry Hudson. In 1609, while searching for a route to Asia, Hudson sailed into what is now New York Harbor and traveled up the river that would later bear his name. Although he never found the route he was seeking, his voyage revealed something equally important. The area was ideal for trade. Soon afterward, Dutch merchants established a settlement called New Amsterdam at the southern tip of Manhattan Island. At first, New Amsterdam was little more than a trading post. Its main purpose was commerce. Dutch traders exchanged goods with Native Americans and shipped valuable furs back to Europe. What made New Amsterdam unique was its openness. The Dutch Republic was one of the most commercially advanced societies in the world at the time. Its merchants cared deeply about trade and profit. As a result, people from many backgrounds and religions were welcomed into the settlement. This diversity would become one of New York's greatest strengths. Even in its earliest years, New Amsterdam was a place where different cultures met and exchanged ideas. The settlement grew steadily. Ships arrived from Europe, carrying goods, settlers, and opportunities. Merchants built businesses. Markets expanded. Trade flourished. The location of Manhattan proved to be a tremendous advantage. The island sat at the entrance to one of the finest natural harbors in the world. Ships could enter safely and unload cargo with relative ease. The Hudson River connected the settlement to vast areas inland. Geography was already working in New York's favor. In 1664, a major change occurred. The British captured New Amsterdam without a major battle. The city was renamed New York in honor of the Duke of York. Although political control changed, the city's commercial character remained intact. Under British rule, New York continued growing. Trade expanded rapidly. The port became increasingly important to the British Empire. Merchants connected North America with Europe, the Caribbean, and other regions. By the 18th century, New York was emerging as one of the most significant cities in the American colonies. Its population increased, its economy diversified, its influence expanded. When the American Revolution began, New York became one of the most strategically important locations in North America. Its harbor was crucial. Its position made it a valuable military and economic asset. Major battles took place around the city. For years, New York remained under British control during the war. After American independence was secured, New York quickly resumed its growth. In fact, it briefly served as the first capital of the United States. George Washington took the presidential oath of office there in 1789. The young nation recognized New York's importance. Yet the event that truly transformed New York's future was still decades away. That event was the construction of the Erie Canal. Completed in 1825, the Erie Canal was one of the most ambitious engineering projects in American history. The canal connected the Hudson River to the Great Lakes. For the first time, goods could move efficiently between the American interior and the Atlantic Ocean. The impact was revolutionary. Before the canal, transporting goods inland was expensive and slow. After the canal opened, transportation costs dropped dramatically. Farmers in the Midwest could ship grain and other products to eastern markets. Manufacturers could send goods westward. Trade increased enormously. New York became the gateway between the Atlantic world and the rapidly expanding American interior. The city gained an economic advantage that few competitors could match. Boston and Philadelphia had important ports, but neither possessed a transportation link comparable to the Erie Canal. Business poured into New York. Merchants grew wealthy, banks expanded, warehouses multiplied, population surged. The city became America's commercial capital. At the same time, another force was reshaping New York: immigration. Throughout the 19th century, millions of immigrants arrived in the United States. For many of them, New York was the first place they saw. Ships carrying immigrants crossed the Atlantic and entered New York Harbor. The sight of land after weeks at sea often filled passengers with hope and excitement. Many intended to move elsewhere. Yet countless immigrants decided to remain in New York. The city offered jobs. Factories needed workers. Construction companies needed laborers. Businesses needed employees. Entire communities formed around immigrant groups. Irish neighborhoods emerged. German neighborhoods expanded. Italian communities flourished. Jewish immigrants established vibrant cultural centers. The city's diversity increased dramatically. Every new wave of immigrants added energy, skills, traditions, and labor to the growing metropolis. This constant flow of newcomers became one of New York's greatest strengths. The city was continually renewing itself. As the 19th century progressed, industrialization accelerated New York's growth. Factories produced goods on a massive scale. Railroads linked markets across the nation. Banks financed expansion. Investors funded new enterprises. Entrepreneurs launched ambitious ventures. New York became a magnet for talent. People arrived with dreams of success. Some became business leaders. Others became inventors, artists, or political figures. The city rewarded ambition. Economic opportunities seemed endless. Wall Street emerged as the financial heart of the nation. Banks, brokers, and investors concentrated in Lower Manhattan. Money flowed through the city. Businesses relied on New York's financial institutions to raise capital and support growth. Over time, Wall Street became one of the most influential financial centers in the world. The city's economic power expanded far beyond its physical boundaries. By the late 19th century, New York faced a new challenge. There was limited space. Manhattan Island could not expand outward indefinitely. The solution was revolutionary: build upward. Advances in engineering made skyscrapers possible. Steel frame construction allowed buildings to reach unprecedented heights. Elevators made tall structures practical. Architects competed to design ever more impressive towers. The skyline transformed dramatically. Each new skyscraper symbolized confidence and ambition. The city became a vertical metropolis, unlike anything the world had seen before. During the 20th century, New York strengthened its position as a global city. It became a center for media, publishing, entertainment, advertising, and culture. Broadway attracted audiences from around the world. Newspapers headquartered in the city influenced national discussions. Television networks expanded their reach. Artists, musicians, and writers found inspiration in New York's energy. The city became a cultural powerhouse. Meanwhile, immigration continued. People arrived from Latin America, Asia, Africa, and countless other regions. Each community contributed to the city's identity. New York became one of the most diverse places on Earth. This diversity generated creativity and innovation. Different perspectives came together. New ideas emerged. New businesses formed. New cultural movements developed. The city constantly reinvented itself. Even during difficult periods, New York demonstrated resilience. Economic crises, wars, recessions, and disasters tested the city repeatedly. Yet it continued adapting and evolving. Its economy diversified. Its infrastructure improved. Its global influence expanded. Today, New York City remains the largest city in the United States. Its economy is enormous. Its cultural influence is global. Its financial institutions shape markets around the world. Its universities attract talented students. Its neighborhoods reflect the diversity of humanity itself. The reason New York became America's biggest city was never a single event. It was the result of many factors working together: a remarkable natural harbor, a strategic geographic location, the Erie Canal, mass immigration, industrial growth, financial innovation, entrepreneurial ambition, and a unique ability to attract people seeking opportunity. Generation after generation, people came to New York believing they could build a better future. Some arrived with wealth, others arrived with almost nothing. But together, they created one of the most extraordinary cities in human history. From a small Dutch trading post to a global metropolis, New York's rise remains one of the greatest urban success stories ever told. And that is the reason New York City became America's biggest city.